Well, the latest in now is that the Rugby World Cup champions, the Springboks, have finally touched down in the East London airport at the King Palo Airport. Zai, we are looking at those current visuals. I've just seen Lucanyo M. I'm absolutely excited to see how the Boks is received. Rugby is quite a huge thing out in the Eastern Cape with some of our very best players coming from there.
They are going to have an absolute whale of a time. You can see the buzz, the rugby fever. I mean, that Webb Ellis Cup, Alicia, might get its own frequent flyer card. You know, it's getting more airtime than us at the moment. It's exciting to see security's there in full force, protecting the fact that the Springboks are, you know, the VVIPs.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the party is going to continue forever and ever until the next Rugby World Cup, as of course the Boks finish their leg of this tour. Zai, so tell me, after this, what happens to the Springboks? Do they go back to training now? Is it business as usual? What happens?
I would think after all this excitement, they've literally toured the country. They've started here in Gauteng. From the Union Building, they went down to Durban, Cape Town, Durban, and now they'll end in East London. There's also talk of, there's some whispers about other cities in far-flung areas that they could be going to. So that's also in the pipeline. But I think straight after this East London tour, they will take a breather. They will go on holiday with their families. Well, are you feeling the buzz? We may not be there physically, but in spirit, we are with the Boks. We are with East London tonight as they have landed. Rugby fever has caught the entire nation, and we'll tackle the excitement here on full view. As always, the trophy tour hitting the final stretch, and I can tell the mood in East London is anything but. It's all that and more because people are excited. We've got a chance to chat to a bit of fans earlier, and it was great to see the support, young and old, grannies, mothers, boys, girls, all out in the numbers, everyone having their favorite player. I know Alicia Jali has her eye on Faf de Klerk, whether he'll be wearing his patriotic briefs.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, Alicia, we will definitely give you a glimpse of that and more, as well as, you know, Damian Willemse wearing his kit for all those days. And I overheard you behind the scenes mentioning whether you would like to see that tattoo. True or not?
Very true, Zai. And of course, I mean, amidst all this excitement that we've been talking about, and you just mentioned it, Zai, there's been a lot of outcry from the rest of the provinces saying that we were stronger together as a nation, from the Free State, in Bloemfontein, everywhere. And now you're only stronger together in certain provinces. When is the Rugby World Cup going to come to these far-flung areas? So I suppose the relevant authorities, if they are listening, I suppose the people's cries will, of course, and please, will not fall on deaf ears, eh?
I love that, because as much as we want them to go to the far-flung areas, and they should, because if you look at an area like Zwide, where our captain, my captain, Siya Kolisi, is from, it's exactly there where you should go and plant the Springbok flag, even more, fly it higher if you have to, because the logistics as well are catered for when they go throughout these cities. And speaking of logistics, we'll get to that. We'll just go to the fans now to enjoy the buzz and the excitement.
Amazing, energy is amazing, and it's absolutely awesome atmosphere. So yeah, ciao.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How does it feel to be in East London?
scenes of total pandemonium, as you would expect when you are welcoming the 4-time champions, their back-to-back champions. Remember Siya Kolisi, the captain, correcting someone who says, welcome champions, and he was like, we are double champions, you know, on the back of 2 at this current time. And it can only be a moment of epic proportions to be in this space with your heroes, because that's exactly what they are, and heroes who have lived up to their name in every way possible.
And as you can see there, the Boks are certainly looking a bit tired. It's been a long tournament followed by a long touring week, and of course we can see they're not even doing any interviews or giving any interviews. We can see our crew and of course our reporters are there, but we are not lucky enough to get any word. I saw Lukanyo Am just passing by Abongile a short while ago, but hopefully, there will be a better sitting when the Boks have recovered, and of course we're going to then have a proper sit down with the heroes, as you said, Zai.
Yeah, and I think tonight will be about getting to their hotel just to, pull themselves toward themselves, plan the logistics for the next day, because tomorrow is a big day for them. That's when they tour the city, East London, bracing themselves for rugby fever, and I can only imagine, the preparation that goes behind the scenes to get this out to the fans, to get the Boks coordinated. And it's a pity though Siya Kolisi was not in Durban. He had some family matters to attend to, not something that we had foreseen, but you know what, the party will continue. It won't put a damper on the spirits of the rugby fans who are out there. And let's go now to Ibn Etzebeth.
We're so glad to be back, and just the crowd and how they are is unbelievable.
You're now being referred as a little bit. How does that make you feel?
So, it's an interesting new name. But the people love it, so it's good, man.
Thanks a lot.
Cool.
Give me something.
Very nice there, Zai, giving us, it's like he heard our pleas. We're saying, please say something. And of course, it's a bit, I had to, listen to the nation's cries. They're just basically saying that they're very happy to be out in the Eastern Cape. And I think something to note, Zai, the fact that 30 million rand was injected in the development of rugby, particularly in far-flung as well as rural areas.
100% rugby, and thanks, to the Boks, this has definitely put the flag fly as possible, and we are one of the countries where rugby is, taking precedence. Younger generations are being part of the next gen to come on and say, listen, we also have aspirations of becoming world champions, which is exactly the precedent the likes of Siya Kolisi, Ibn Etzebeth, Faf de Klerk have all set for the fans who are out there.
All right, that is the outside of the King Palo Airport there. If you are out in East London, I don't know if you're going to be lucky enough to catch the Boks or a glimpse of the Boks as they've just touched down. And of course, they will be preparing to go to their hotels anytime soon now, just for the final leg of that East London trophy. The Webb Ellis Trophy will be all over East London. What's happening there, Zai, tomorrow? Where can people go see the Boks as, of course, they parade around in their bus?
Absolutely. They will be mainly in the city centre. They'll be meeting, particularly this tour is about fans, taking rugby to the people, because our captain Siya Kolisi was very specific in all his speeches, saying that this is for the fans, the people that have supported them throughout, right at the very beginning, all the way through. And it's you, the rugby supporter. This is for you. It's not for anyone else. It's not for the parliamentarians, but the people of, East London, of Gauteng, here in Pretoria and in Cape Town, who love the sport. And the sport is growing, and we know the legends, especially in the Eastern Cape. There's been a mine of, good, great talent that comes out of there. And I don't know what they're drinking in that water. There must be something special, because that's where a lot of talent and the great fans that go all out for their heroes.
Zai, something about this Rugby World Cup, the focus in South Africa particularly being about the fact that we were so unified as a nation, something that has never been seen before. And of course, how sport sport can go a long way, particularly national sporting events can go a long way in being a unifier. Even the comments that were coming through on our question of the day today, basically everyone supporting that narrative that sport is the biggest unifier and therefore it should be well taken care of, well invested in ensuring that social cohesion programs run through the business of sport. What do you think about this narrative, Zai?
There's so many heartwarming stories, Alicia, about, like you said, the business of sport, but this in a way, this victory transcends so much, unifying us. I remember the calls for plenty going on about, Captain Siya Kolisi, should he get into politics? And we know he wouldn't. At some point, maybe down the line, he might change his mind. Siya Kolisi for president. We've seen the rally behind him. And his leadership speaks of a man and the might and his humbleness, which has transcended all the way to his fellow teammates.
And very interesting, I saw some of the other sporting codes, like your football teams that were in support of the Bokke there. I saw Kaizer Chiefs were there at the FNB Stadium. Just to be part of that ambience, Zan, must be something quite interesting for people that are also at, some point feeling somewhat disappointed in whatever sporting codes that they're currently under or the positioning in their relevant entities that they're competing under. So it must be quite nice to be amongst the champions, so to speak.
Electrifying. And I think if we could just bottle all the Springboks up, we could solve our energy crisis.
Madiba magic can be infiltrated right throughout the sporting codes. It's netball, it is cricket, everybody's just unified, Zai.
Unified indeed, and rugby has proven that, and we're looking forward now to our Proteas. Remember, they will be taking on India, the host nation, tomorrow at the ICC Cricket World Cup. They certainly guaranteed a place in the semi-final, and that was due to Pakistan having a win today against New Zealand. But I guess the highlight for tonight is the Boks. They've landed safely with the Webb Ellis Cup trophy in East London.